Welcome to the Thor Ragnarok spoiler talk. We'll be talking about a little bit more
MCU.
Yeah, and listen, if you came here straight away, you may have missed our non-spoiler review. The movie comes out. I don't know when we're gonna post this,
It's
but
like November the 2nd or 3rd is when the movie comes out officially in the US. In some other parts
this Friday.
of the,
So today is November 1st in
Today's
Croatia.
Wednesday. The movie came out last Thursday. Actually, a week ago on Wednesday.
Yeah, and we post a review right afterwards. And listen, if you want to see the non-spoiler review without any
it's somewhere out there among
if you
the
need,
uploads.
yeah, if you need
videos back.
If you need to be convinced, we'll put the link in the card right here above our heads.
You shouldn't need to listen.
Laptop.
Really, the movie's off the charts.
Yeah, so go watch the movie and then come back to watch this, because from this point on, everything we'll be talking about is in the movie. It's very spoilery, so if you haven't seen the movie and you don't like being spoiled, we will spoil you.
I like the part when Hulk does this to Thor and Loki's like, yeah, now you know how that feels.
And
you're first spoiled. Thank you.
Yeah. So
if you're not convinced by now to leave, you should.
So, dude, listen. Okay, so we've been asked to do this spoiler review, but listen, we shouldn't be asked to do this stuff because this is stuff we actually want to do, but we just haven't figured out
time-wise how to do all this for
exactly, because we have works and we have different schedules. You work night shifts, I work different shifts, and we never know.
Gym.
Yeah, there's gym for you.
There's sleep.
Of course, man. Yeah,
you gotta sleep, man. You gotta sleep.
I need my nap, man. I need my nap. And listen, the nap will solve so many problems. People aren't aware of it, but they.
Especially if your nap lasts for like 8 to 12 hours.
Yeah, dude. Listen, if you're not napping in the afternoon,
then you need a nap after your nap just to recover from the nap.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So listen, Thor Ragnarok, and so we try to figure out. We need to figure out how to do this stuff for the future, because we've done Star Wars review with the mullet style and like non-spoiler in the beginning, and then spoilers. Like we did the same for Logan, I think, and
this might actually work better. Give them a nice spoiler review, just if they want to see our opinion of the movie, and then give them a spoiler one.
Yeah, so we'll try to figure out how to do this, but because there's some stuff we're
still figuring out. We have no idea how long this video is gonna be and what exactly we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, so if you're looking at the timestamp, bear with us. Hopefully
we're still figuring it out.
Yeah, we're still figuring stuff out, but hopefully you'll enjoy this video. And listen, let's talk about spoilers, because there's some stuff we wanted to talk about in the movie review that we couldn't talk about because it was way too spoilery.
You didn't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah,
see if you care.
Yeah. So you've been spoiled once, okay? If you've lasted this long into the video, it's like I don't mind spoilers, and you really do. Like, this is your cue to go away, okay? So listen, the Stan Lee cameo, man. Okay, the moment it happens,
the best one yet.
Definitely the best. And definitely, man.
My favorite.
Dude, listen.
He cuts Thor's hair, people. Yeah.
The moment
but the way he does it, it's not just the fact that he does it. It's the way he does it, man. It's just the way he does it. But he cuts his hair like he has this apparatus.
The moment he says,
a lot of blades, man. A lot of blades.
The moment Grandmaster tells Thor to go get, I don't know, ready or get his
makeup or whatever.
Dude. Listen,
and
Stan Lee, I'm starting to think like Stan Lee might appear, and then it happens, man. Then he still has his hair, okay? He still has his hair, and then
blades start whooshing, and he's like, "Oh, good sir, please do not come." Like he cries, and Stan Lee's like, "Don't bear with me. I'm not as young as I used to be." It's just so hilarious,
dude.
Best cameo, yeah, man. He's been doing this since like Fantastic Four, man.
Even before he did it in Spider-Man. I don't know if he did.
And no, actually, he's been doing it since Kevin Smith started.
Yeah,
that
was his Mallrats was his first cameo.
Kevin Smith even before Marvel was cool with Stanley cameos. Kevin Smith gave him a cameo.
Yeah, I don't know if he appeared in Blade.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I'm not sure if he appeared in any of the Punishers.
Fantastic Four.
He definitely did all three Sam Raimi Spider-Mans, just like Bruce Campbell did, and I'm sure he did at least few of the X-Men. I'm sure of it. I just definitely the third one.
I can't remember.
But
I honestly can't remember. Not that I wish I did, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely the Fantastic Fours were next, and then the MCU movies, man. Listen, Thor Ragnarok happens, timelines-wise, it happens 2 years after Avengers 2. Age of Ultron.
Because you gotta understand they had to explain Hulk being a movie.
Yeah, and at the end of the Age of Ultron, Hulk got lost in the... Well, Bruce Banner got lost in the...
No, Hulk got into a Quinjet
and
disappeared.
yeah.
Scarlett Johansson's, she tried to get him back, couldn't.
Yeah, tried to reach him via radio, and she just couldn't.
Send him the whole message, hey big guy, come back and stult your plane and stuff.
Yeah, and then there's the stuff that happens at the end of the Thor, the Dark World, where suddenly we see Odin, but it's actually Loki, and how did actually Loki replace Odin, and why did that... Well, we know why it happened.
Well, we know how it happened. Because
well, we know
it happened at the end of Thor 2.
Well, we didn't see him replacing Odin like...
No, but we knew he was, when he sat on the throne,
yeah,
we knew he was Loki, not Odin.
Yeah. We knew that, but we didn't know how it happened. We knew why it happened, because Loki was always power hungry, and it was surprising to see Odin disappear so easily too. So it was like, what's going on with Odin? And then
what did Loki do to him to make him disappear?
Yeah, exactly. And then
there's also the absence from the Civil War.
Yeah, and then
Thor wasn't there. I know Marvel tried to explain it. He was with the whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah.
Down under, but you know, we knew he had to be explained, so we get to see Thor and try to figure out what exactly happened.
And Hulk wasn't in Civil War either, and so it's like, because he's been missing and they couldn't find him, and they touch on that in Civil War too. It's like, because she's been looking for him, they've been looking for him, they couldn't find him because they need to, because Iron Man wants Hulk on his side, but I don't think Banner would be on his side anyway. So I mean,
you know,
listen, if you're smart, you're on Cap's side, but we digress.
If you're smart, you get out of the Hulk's way.
Exactly.
And take his side, whatever his side is.
Yeah, and so what
happened? And we also knew we might be getting that Thor Ragnarok might be actually Hulk's Planet Hulk.
Yeah, a lot of posters and images from the came out, and they've been alluding to that, and we actually saw that happen as well. So the stuff that happens to Odin, the way Loki got rid of him, so to speak, actually turned out like, I like the way that actually happened, because
here's another thing you have to understand. So if you take 2 years from Age of Ultron to Thor Ragnarok, Thor hasn't been on Asgard.
Yeah.
That whole time. He's been out through the traveling through the cosmos, or through the 9 verses, whatever you want to call it.
9 realms.
Yeah. 9 realms, trying to figure out what exactly is happening, because if you remember Age of Ultron, when he got his visions, he tried to figure out what those visions are. So he even hasn't been on Asgard.
Yeah, and
he's told, you know,
the beginning of the movie is like, starts just like one of the trailers I've seen, and
I didn't see him.
He's in the cage and
talking to a skeleton.
Yeah, talking to a skeleton. I'm like, dude,
but it's your typical, like, I'm gonna get captured by the bad guy, so the bad guy can talk and reveal his plans, and then when he reveals his plans, I'm gonna bust out.
Yeah, and seeing Surtur on his throne, and I'm like, okay, like, if you're Surtur and Thor came to you and all you did is lock him up, like, why did you do that? And if you're gonna let him talk, it's like, why are you behaving the way you do? I thought that was a little bit too much. I was like,
it actually didn't. He's a typical villain. Like, he catches the hero.
I mean,
it's like, okay,
dude, it was very funny.
I'm gonna kill you anyways. I'm just gonna tell you everything I'm gonna do first.
Yeah, and so it's like seeing Surtur there. That was kind of fun, because like we
actually get to see him
because the movie's called Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So
and we get to see him at the end when he actually unleashes the Ragnarok, destroys Asgard, and kills Hela in the process.
Dude, that's going from the very beginning all the way to the very ending.
Yeah, and now we fill in the gaps.
Okay, man. Listen.
Basically, the whole Asgard.
Listen, the way,
because that's how Ragnarok.
I actually like that. It was not surprising to me, but
you actually expected it.
in
and
a
you
way,
knew Hela wasn't gonna destroy Asgard.
Definitely no.
So you never really knew how Asgard, okay, if it's Ragnarok, Asgard has to be destroyed.
Yeah.
But they ended up sending the people.
Because unlike Terminator movies, where they always are successful, and this is like aside from all the stuff with Terminator movies, like they always try to postpone the Judgment Day. Okay, it's like every time they stop it, it's not really stopped; it's just postponed for a later date.
And here they kind of figure out the only way to stop Hela was to unleash the Ragnarok.
Yeah, exactly. And
so that's what they do. That's their end game. Their end game is let's destroy everything, but let's save the people.
Yeah, exactly. And the way that unfolded to me was...
Unless you're Warrior Street, no
listen, the moment Hela appears, she immediately kills...
Volstagg and
Fandral, yeah.
Hogun dies like mere scenes later, but in a fight actually.
Unlike his other two companions, because they were...
the Lady Sif's nowhere to be found, so we have no idea. Technically, she's not dead. I know she's doing blind spot right now. Blind spot right now. So she might actually yet figure...
She may have been traveling somewhere else.
Oh yeah, so she might figure...
I'm sure they'll explain it eventually.
And like if you're Valkyrie and you want to rebuild the Valkyries, I think Lady Sif is a nice addition to the team.
Definitely. And listen, the whole scene with the Valkyrie's backstory, like we didn't get the Valkyrie we usually do in the games or in comic books, the one called Brunhilde, the blonde girl, but she was in this movie as the background story to what actually happened to the entire order of the Valkyries.
And you actually,
and the way they explained it as an order of elite female fighters of Asgard, I think was pretty cool, man.
Oh yeah, until Hela killed them all, but yeah.
And listen, the way they explained Hela too was also like, I didn't see that one coming because I haven't read Thor comics very much.
But not Hela related one.
So it's like, I always thought she was a separate, maybe she really is in the comics, but the way they explained her in the MCU, I liked it.
She's Odin's firstborn, and she helped Odin conquer the 9 realms.
Yeah.
And then when Odin decides to go goody-goody, she of course doesn't like it. So Odin sends the Valkyrie order to wipe her out. They fail, only one Valkyrie survives.
Yeah,
and that was because of the sacrifice of another Valkyrie that saved her life.
Yeah.
Of course. And somehow basically Hela gets imprisoned in Hell.
Yeah.
Whatever the name of the Hell realm is. And she's basically there and she's waiting for Odin to die because the only thing holding back her power is Odin. And of course, when Hela is in Asgard, the longer she's on Asgard, the more her power grows.
And the way she gets to Asgard, man, okay? I mean, literally, like, she tricks the trickster, okay? Like, Loki is the trickster and she tricks him, like...
She doesn't really trick Loki because when Thor is like Heimdall open the Bifrost and it's not Heimdall but it's Volstagg up there.
No,
at that point
Volstagg.
It's Volstagg opens it up. That's why he dies.
Yeah,
basically, and Loki's like no, because he knows Hela is gonna travel. That's the only way for
Scourge
that's the only way for her to get
He was hanging out like they were visiting their friend at work, or they were I don't know, maybe they were on the same duty. I don't know, man. Because if
they were trying to relieve him of his duties, seems to me like.
It's possible, very possible.
But basically, Hela gets to Asgard,
he definitely wasn't doing his job properly, man, okay?
She kills Volstagg and Fandral upon arrival. Scourge is there, he's like, it's like, don't kill me, I'll do what you want.
Which is smart, like he's trying to survive.
And even Scourge, he does that
he does that throughout the movie, and that's what I like.
And then he becomes the executioner, but he technically doesn't kill anybody until the very end. The final battle where he actually turns against Hela and her minions.
Yeah.
Not the small minions.
Because he's Asgardian at heart. So.
Yeah, he doesn't want to see the people perish, so he pulls out 2 AK-47s and he gets to...
Well, I don't think they're AK-47s, and...
They're not.
I used an AK-47.
Automatic machine guns, and he just kills
From
people.
Texas. They're machine guns from Texas, because
That's traction, yeah.
What was it? Texas. Is that how he pronounced it? Texan people have cool weapons. That's what he said, man. So it's like, seeing another...
Basically, for Scourge, operating the Bifrost has its advantages.
A lot
he
of
gets to take stuff from different realms.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Oh, man. And listen,
But and the whole team up with Loki and Thor, I loved it. Listen, we knew at
and they're
some
meeting
point
with their
Loki
father
was
too.
Yeah.
I mean, the way
and Doctor Strange in there, man.
Listen, yeah, that was the first. Yeah, yeah. Thor went looking for Loki, and all of a sudden he's in Doctor Strange.
Thor and Loki go to find.
Listen,
Loki left Odin and some retirement home, and so Loki and Thor go to pick up Odin from the retirement home, only to find out that the retirement home is no more.
It's literally
become a construction site.
Yeah, it's literally been
and basically
taken down.
Right there, Doctor Strange zaps Loki somewhere, leaves a visiting card, and so
Thor has to find what is it 221 A Baker Street?
No,
or
it's
something
211 something. Like it is something with a B. No, it's not Baker. It's
yeah, it is. That's why
Baker or something. It's still
Bleecker Street.
Yeah,
I mean,
quite similar, but it's not Baker Street.
Yeah.
Just to figure out what exactly happened to
These
Loki.
are cool Easter eggs for Cumberbatch's Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing happens to like when he enters the Arcane Sanctum and his hammer turns into an umbrella, which is the same umbrella Sherlock Holmes uses. And so
no, actually, he can disguise Mjolnir when he's in the When he's in Midgard, he chooses to do it as an umbrella, which is again funny when you get to the Sherlock part of the thing.
And listen, and that whole scene at the post-credit scene after the Doctor Strange movie, we get that entire scene and much more in this one scene with Doctor Strange and Thor, and it's such a cool scene.
It's as fun as we thought it was gonna be. It's even actually more funny than we thought it was gonna be upon seeing the Doctor Strange movie. Just you wanted more of it. Like I hope they stay here for like half an hour of the movie.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no reason for them to stay that long, but it's that good, man. That whole scene is so fluid. It goes by so fast. Just
yeah, definitely, man. And then, so if I return Loki to you, you promise me you two will go back to Asgard and I come back
Well,
here.
when we get our father, basically they get to Odin, Odin dies, and then Hela shows up, and then the whole Bifrost
And that is the moment Thor got his powers, too.
Where Thor starts to figure out that he has powers that they're not actually just tied up to Mjolnir, because Hela, first thing she does is, of course, Loki and Thor are gonna fight her. She destroys Mjolnir, like just gone.
Yeah, you've seen it in the trailers. I mean, if you watch the trailers, you know
well,
what
I
happens.
didn't, so thank God. Fun scene to watch. Basically, that's where Thor summons the Bifrost. Hela basically pushes Loki and him out of it. She kind of figures they're dead. They're not. They end up at a planet called
Sakaar,
where the things are a little bit weird, and they're run by the Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster.
Yeah, the Grandmaster, and they're in this junkyard. So for anyone who's read the Planet Hulk comic books, listen, this is the part where they actually, I think they did the comic book justice in some regard, but not.
I think they did as far as the arena and stuff goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Stuff that goes on outside of the arena, not so much.
Yeah,
but the arena
and putting
itself.
Grandmaster into it was also a cool twist, because even in the animated movie from 2007, like, even though they're true to the comic book, it's still very hard. Like, it's a heavy movie to watch, even though it's animated, even though it's for kids. Like,
but it's a fun movie to watch.
Listen, they come here and they meet the Valkyrie, even though they don't know it's Valkyrie yet.
Basically, she...
They don't know she's from Asgard, and Thor is lost. Well, they didn't come together. Turns out this planet exists out of time and space in a way.
And basically, when Hela pushed Loki first, he arrived to the planet first, and then when...
Yeah, but
like a month or 2 months or something like that, like a huge period.
Yeah, huge
During
period.
which time, by the time Thor arrives, Loki was able to woo Grandmaster into granting him some favor. Basically, he's free, and he walks around.
Yeah, he can walk around.
And Hulk hasn't killed him yet.
Yeah, and he knows about the Hulk, even though he doesn't know about the Hulk, and the whole arena.
And this is where we get our first glimpse into the Easter egg that is Better Ray Bill.
Yeah, that too. If you ever read comic books, you know who Beta Ray Bill is. The being, of course,
he's not the last surviving member of his race, but he is its protector while they're traveling. The rest of the race is in deep status. He's guarding them, and there's a whole scene where he actually fights. Not in the movie, of course, but in the comic book, there's a whole scene where Beta Ray Bill picks up Mjolnir and actually fights Thor because he perceived Thor as a...
No, that was in the cartoon.
No, no, that was in the
Silver Surfer was in the comic book. Fighting Hulk. Are we talking about Hulk or Thor now? Because Thor was not in the arena in the Planet Hulks.
No, we're talking about Thor's comic book where Beta Ray Bill appears.
Oh, okay.
The first appearance of Beta Ray
Bill. Okay, well, anyway.
Basically, Beta Ray Bill he's worthy enough to wield the...
Yeah, definitely. And we know he at least existed in this universe in some way or
another. And we're gonna get an actually, at the end of the movie...
There's a lot of Beta Ray Bill's Easter egg because...
The ship that they use
later on in the movie,
for the Asgardian people to escape, to flee Asgard, is basically the same ship that Beta Ray Bill is using in the comic book.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, we talked about Beta Ray Bill, and he fought Hulk in the arena in the animated movie Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
Whereas in the comic book, Hulk fights Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
In the original story, and here Thor is actually came up and he's fighting the Hulk, who's been here the whole time because Grandmaster picked him up, or one of his...
Basically, the Quinjet flew through one of the holes that brought him to Sakaar, and Grandmaster picked him up. He, of course, proceeded to kill a whole lot of people, and now he's the Grandmaster's champion. The thing is, neither Loki nor Thor know that Hulk is the champion, because Grandmaster
until he shows up.
Only talks about him as the champion, so yeah. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then when he sees, then there's the whole
when
thing.
When Loki sees it, he's like, "What the? What is like?" And like.
But
dude,
here's the thing: at this point, Hulk hasn't let Bruce Banner appear
for 2 years. Yeah.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
So it's all Hulk in there. It's a little bit mushy, as you can imagine. Hulk ran.
And just watching Hulk interact with Thor and Loki the whole time, and then when Thor says,
and Thor telling Loki, yeah, he's like, "Oh no, Hulk, I like you more than Bruce Banner. He's all punchy and buttons and smarts," and you're like. And then later on, when Bruce Banner appears, Thor goes and he's like, "Oh, I like you, Bruce, more than Hulk. He's all smash. Listen, the Sakaar stuff, those interactions between Hulk and Thor and Loki, and even Valkyrie in there, both with Thor and with Loki, when they figure out that she actually is the last living Valkyrie, it's just so fun, the banter in there.
Yeah, definitely. And then throwing a little bit of Grandmaster in there, just for a little bit of spices, and then Korg. Yeah. Korg. Okay, one of the
here's what you need to know. Taika Waititi. He actually
plays Korg. And I have an issue with this character for so many reasons, and one of them being that Korg is not as funny as he is in the comic books. Like, he's funnier here than he's more of a serious character, even though he can be funny in an unintentional kind of way.
So you mentioned this in our original non-spoilery review. He's supposed to be a mix between the Thing and Hulk. He kind of isn't.
Yeah.
He's a rocky thing that keeps falling apart. And here's the issue that he's having is he's supposed to be a comic relief in a movie that doesn't really need a comic relief.
Because the movie is already funny so much. Every time you have Thor and Loki on the screen, there's funny moments. Every time you have Thor and Hulk on the screen, it's funny.
Every time you have somebody on the scene, it's funny. Unless it's Hela
interaction between Hela and Thor and Loki. I mean, literally, it's like these siblings who never knew each other existed, and Loki being an adopted sibling, and then this whole like thing going through there.
So the movie, being funny as it is, didn't need an extra character in there who's just there for the comic relief.
Definitely.
Doesn't make sense. But he kind
it
of
makes sense for the character to be there. Don't get me wrong. He's a cool character. He helps. He does stuff in this movie that he does in the original storyline.
He helps out a lot. He does stuff. He starts a revolution again.
And and he does stuff that he's supposed to be doing that we expected him to do. But
we got a ship. We're getting out of here. You wanna come? Didn't need the extra comic relief. So he didn't
Taika Waititi is already funny, and his movie is already so funny. Definitely. We didn't need him to be even more funny, even though he plays the character, which is cool, granted, but I think he should have gone a little bit more serious with the character.
Exactly.
Give him better character, actually, and...
just do him a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
Not as funny, because like you said, the movie did not need a character who's there specifically to be a comic relief, when every scene, almost every scene, has humor in it.
Yeah.
Even when, you know, in the beginning where Thor is locked up by Surtur, it's still there's comedy in there.
Yeah.
Every scene has comedy. Every interaction is funny.
And in moments
has humor.
Yeah, and in moments and speaking of Thor and beginning and Odin's dying and the final conflict between Hela and Loki and Thor, and then Odin appeared as like when he disappeared or died at least. Like, there's this thing in comics called the Odin power, or whatever it is called, and usually it's, I don't know, when they die, they kind of like just pass on the power to the next in line, and so to me it felt like Odin transferred his Odin power to Thor in a way.
Here's the thing about
or at least, I mean, because they display, I mean, they show it that way. It looks like an energy cloud, so to speak. And so once Thor unleashes,
they refer to is that as Odin life.
Yeah, Odin life. And
not Odin power, but Odin life. But here's the thing: the idea was always that the way they played Thor out, it's funny to think that the god of Asgard, his only true power, is a freaking hammer.
Yeah, the god of thunder.
He's god of thunder, and his only power is a hammer. Okay, sure, it's a special hammer.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons I never liked Thor so much, because he had a hammer, okay?
Like, and, you know, the way they proceed is like you take the hammer away, boom, like he's a guy with fists, he can't really do much.
But well, he can fight, I mean...
Oh yeah, definitely, but it's like his true power
I mean, he took on Hulk, I mean, just without his hammer, so...
And without, he would have won if not for the whole...
Yeah, and...
It's rigged, but, you know... Yeah. But the thing is, like, he's still strong, he's still guard, he still has above human strength. But the idea that his only power, true power, comes from freaking hammer, is like, if you can take that away, you can beat him easily, then, like, if he has the hammer...
He's not really God of Thunder then, is he?
Yeah.
So, in this
the way they played it off, the way that he started, basically, even after Odin dies, like he said, the Odin life, the force that was Odin, still there. So...
Yeah, and that was cool to see, especially the way those powers played out, the way they formed.
They didn't just give it to him, like, okay, now you can...
Yeah, it was always there.
Now you figure out, yeah, it was always there, but they come to surface little by little.
Yeah.
And it kind of culminates toward the end at the Bifrost, the last battle.
Even though it happens on 2 occasions prior to that.
But he still, at that point, he still doesn't figure out what it was.
And I like that, man.
Exactly, they didn't just give it to him. The way they played it out.
And it makes sense for God of Thunder. I mean, listen, every time you see Zeus in one of the Greek mythology movies, he forms thunder and he just throws them away. Why can't Thor do something like that? And to me, it's like,
and literally lightning
coming out of his hands, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
And when he grasps the whole idea, it's like Odin again shows up to him and says, do you really think that your power came from a hammer?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no, it was a vessel to help you control it.
Focus
that power, but it's not your power.
It's not the source. And listen, and
that's the fight. Like, it's on Asgard. Hela has him like on a balcony. She's choking the life out of him, and he gets it in that moment, and it's so cool. And then he loses his eye and gets an eye patch later, which was even the cooler moment because it's like,
once he puts on the eye patch, man. I mean, Thor looks so cool at the end of that.
Even with the short hair, he just
dude. I actually prefer him with short hair.
So awesome, man. Especially without an eye, man.
Yeah,
especially
listen, I like the new Thor. I can't wait to see Infinity Wars, to see what they're gonna do with him. Because this is all going towards the Infinity Wars. And the stuff they did with Hulk and Bruce Banner, and because Banner says like he can almost pretty much lose control and never be turned into
like
Bruce
if he
Banner
loses, because he was stuck as a Hulk for 2 years, he basically once he turns back to Bruce tells Thor, like, if I turn back into Hulk, I might not be able to get back.
Yeah, and we don't know if that's certain or not. It may or may not be.
Here's the fun part, though.
Listen, because
if you
once
watch
Bruce
the
Banner
animated
woke up,
series,
yeah,
if
but
you watch the other stuff, Hulk is there. They rarely get Banner. So it might actually be fun, because at the end of the final battle, the Fundrill or whatever, no, what's the name of the dang wolf?
No.
Fundrill the wolf, or whatever his name, the one that's unleashed again in the Ragnarok. Only way they fight him is if Hulk beats him. So Bruce heroically jumps out of a spaceship.
Speaking of spaceship, there's a Xandar reference to Guardians of the Galaxy when they're trying to escape the planet, when they're talking to Heimdall, when Thor is talking to Heimdall, is like, or is like Valkyrie saying we're gonna go through Xandar, and Thor is like, I'm not going through that.
No, we're gonna go to Devil's asshole, man.
Because
and we did
Heimdall
not just
him,
make it up, man.
No.
Heimdall told Thor, you go through the big one.
Yeah, and
the big one is called Devil's asshole.
Yeah, and for a reason. But listen, the way they tied it to Guardians of the Galaxy, I can't wait to see what happens in this movie, because they did go to space in a way. There were spaceships here, okay? And when Thor said he's not going through that dump, I mean, it's like, tells a whole lot about the universe of Marvel Cinematic Universe.
How big it is.
How big and huge it is.
Here's the thing, I know
because the Sakaar is located so far from Asgard that the fastest way through Xandar would take them like what, 9 months or something like that. And listen,
through Devil's asshole, you got there like whole fast.
Yeah, like instantly almost. So
the thing is, and you gotta understand. So at the end, you have the scene where they're in the spaceship. At this point, Thor is the king of Asgard, obviously.
For many reasons.
Yeah. And Loki is there. He's really there, not just illusion of Loki. Loki's there. So at this point, they're teamed up.
Yeah.
When you see Loki's still mischievous. Loki's still probably going to stab him in the back every chance he gets. But he's there. They teamed up. Hulk is there, so at this point there's no Bruce Banner. I'm not sure if Bruce Banner.
The stuff they're doing with Bruce Banner and Hulk is like, every time they show up, they don't really know what the other one is thinking or has been through, because the moment Bruce Banner wakes up after those 2 years,
he still figures it out. He's in Sokovia.
He first thing he asks, like, is everybody out of Sokovia? He's still in Sokovia.
Friend Bruce. That happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Heimdall is there, and Heimdall is like an unsung hero. This one, he's there. He gets a whole lot.
He was really a side character to this. He's usually a side character, but this time he was a side character.
Yeah, but I like the spotlight. You know, when Hela was killing people.
Yeah.
When nobody else was on Asgard, or everybody else who could help was dead, Heimdall was the guy getting people safe.
Yeah, unlike some other people who were just trying to survive, like the Scourge.
Yeah, but he goes good in the end. That's what matters. And of course, he dies for it. But you actually saw the fight within himself throughout the whole movie.
Definitely.
Like from the moment Hela shows up and he pledges his allegiance to her.
Yeah.
You see the fight within him, like, I'm asked to do stuff that I don't really want to do. Like, I'm asked to kill people who are basically...
innocent people, just to extract information from them, and that's not really something I want to do. I'm a warrior.
And he kind of gets it in the end. He picks up his destruction, and he unleashes hell, if you would.
Yeah.
Until Hela kills him, of course, but, you know, hey. He died a hero, so...
Yeah, definitely. And
so Heimdall's there, Valkyrie is there.
Man. That's what being a hero is all about.
Yeah. And then a big ass spaceship shows up.
Yeah, man, and
it's like end.
Yeah, and listen.
That's your post-credit scene.
No,
they're all there.
That's the mid-credit scene. The post-credit scene is the one with Jeff Goldblum actually surviving the revolution by Korg, and I'm sure he's gonna come out on top too, because he's the Grandmaster. So
and he's Jeff Goldblum. Like, you want to bet against Jeff Goldblum?
No way, man.
Not happening.
But listen, that ship reminded me so much of Ronan the Accuser's ship, the black...
and people are like, oh, it's Thanos. I know there's probably a lot of speculations on the internet. I don't read that stuff. I'm pretty sure people figure out what ship it is out of comic books and blah, blah, blah.
Probably.
Again, I don't know. I think he might not be Thanos.
I don't think it's Thanos either. I think
it's gonna tie into...
I think it's gonna be Ronan, dude, because...
But
it looks pretty much... Yeah, but it was the same kind of ship.
Yeah. It's the same kind of... So we're gonna see.
I'm sure it's Ronan the Accuser, but...
Like, if you Google it, you're kind of probably gonna figure out what it is. We didn't Google it. I don't plan to.
I didn't watch any Easter egg videos yet.
People probably know who read a lot more comic books than us. They probably know what ship it is. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't care to know. We rather speculate.
Not that much, yeah.
Because it's gonna be a lot more fun watching actually Infinity War and then seeing what they do with it, what they do after
with Hulk, with Thor, with Avengers.
Here's the thing. Like, right now, one thing you have to take into account is, like, Marvel, they know what they're doing with MCU 15 years from now.
Yeah.
And here's my question. Right now, after Infinity War, your core 6 characters, they're out of contract.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Like, if you have... you probably have contingencies in case they don't resign. But even if they resign, like, what do you do with the characters?
There's
like,
a lot of stuff they can do, so...
For example, like, you know...
I'd love to see some people gone. Like, I wouldn't love, but it's like, to me, I wouldn't mind not seeing Iron Man anymore.
Here's the thing, in the current issues of Iron Man, there's an Iron Girl. She's not Iron Girl, she's like Iron Heart or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name exactly. Here's the thing.
The black chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the Kate Bishop Hawkeye, so again, Barton doesn't need to be there.
I don't think we're gonna see Barton going away anytime soon. He may die. I'm hoping Black Widow dies. Like, I'm so sick of her, it's ridiculous.
But here's the thing with Thor, precisely, is like, you can get them in the Infinity War, and then if he doesn't re-sign the contract, you can just have him, you know, he's out there, like, you can name drop in every movie, but technically you can just explain him away. He's like, oh, he's king of Asgard, and he's trying to find a new home for him, blah, blah, blah. But also, Natalie Portman was not in this movie.
No, because she broke up with Thor.
But the thing was, though,
she was Thor in the
comic books. Yeah. She's your next Thor, because once Thor became unworthy, the hammer still needed the wielder. Yeah, but they kind of explained that away in this movie. Yeah, because there's no hammer anymore, and like the stuff with the treasury and Hela, like make it like there was a glove with the 6 stone Infinity Gems. The Infinity Gauntlet was there fully functional, if you would, but again, it's just a relic. It's not really there. It's then fake. You also, it's fake. You also have to understand that Loki was the one who unleashed Ragnarok. He's the one who picked up Surtur's helmet and threw it in the everlasting flame, making Surtur rise higher than the mountain and therefore killing Hela and crushing Asgard. But before he does that, he saw the Tesseract Stone.
Yeah.
And he picked
the mind gem,
and he probably picked it up. He would be stupid to think otherwise. Yeah. So this is where Loki again is Loki, even though he's teamed up with Thor.
And last time we saw Thanos, he said he's gonna take care of this problem himself because he's sick and tired of waiting for his Lakis to do his bidding.
We don't know exactly what happens with Loki, but somehow in the Infinity War, Thanos is gonna get that gem from Loki.
Yeah, and listen...
And Loki might just give it to him.
I read one of these... I think they're gonna go with... I think they said this, but I'm not completely sure. They said that they might go with the Thanos... with the Infinity War. That it may be from the Thanos' point of view. Which is one of the actual storylines that I actually read from the comics. It's called Infinity War 2.
Oh, yeah.
And it starts with Thanos getting up and going after the Infinity Gems. And he's visiting the Beyonder and... few of these other celestial beings, sort of like pretty much godlike in Marvel's comic books, and so I'm hoping we see something similar to that in the Infinity War as well. So
I kind of do too.
Because I think watching Thanos
be fun
going
to see things from his
because
perspective.
and especially because the only time we saw Thanos was always on his chair up there on some rock in space. So watching him in action, I think it will be really cool to watch because it will get a lot of doubters and a lot of people. You know, these Thanos we've been watching him for like who knows how many movies. And he still
he's not doing anything.
Since the Avengers, actually, and it's like he's not doing anything. What makes him so powerful or so terrible? So
I hope we get. So
I think if we get to see him in Infinity War at the beginning of the movie, going after the Infinity Gems, if we see him in action, I think that would be pretty cool to see, and I think it will be pretty cool for the fans.
Because he is one of the strongest characters in the Marvel.
So yeah,
so it's gonna be fun. And as far as the whole what happens after the Infinity War, like we said, at this point,
we talked about MCU before and what might and might not happen.
But now it's actually a lot more funner because it's now we're getting close. Infinity Wars comes out next year. The part 2 of that comes out the year after.
It's just gonna be 2 movies, man. They
well, I know, but again, it's still so we're getting Avengers movie back to back.
Yeah.
In 2018, 2019. And the thing is, after that, like we said, the core characters, their contracts run out.
Listen, we still have Black Panther movie and Captain Marvel movie next year.
But it's gonna be fun if those characters don't re-sign their contracts.
Of course, yeah. I'm listening.
The Avengers movie following these two, you might actually get to see Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Vision and Bucky at some point being actually the Avengers team.
That would be cool because, listen, I like my Cap and Thor and Iron Man and Hulk. And
just the way they are.
Just the way they are. And I like them as I like them as a team. I like the cast. But listen, I need some change. I want some change. I want to see.
We need some variety.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. And
not just
we mentioned this before.
And not just in white men and women. Just
just
in these superpowers. Okay.
Yeah.
When we talk about
we just want different characters.
Superpowers. Okay.
Like it's time you bring in Marvel.
That's why I like the stuff they're doing with Thor. Like
Marvel is full of characters. You literally just sweep few of them away. Just grab a couple of more from the pile.
Yeah.
It's that easy, and with various superpowers and. We need, like, yes, we like them the way they are right now, but we need variety when it comes to superpowers. We want to see different heroes show up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Robert Downey, he can now re-sign his contract, show up 20 years later, still be Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Same goes for Thor. Like, Chris Hemsworth, he can do whatever he wants, come back 30 years from now when he's older.
Same goes for Chris
Evans. Thor. Same goes for Chris Evans. If you didn't read Old Man Logan,
Jeremy Renner and everybody
Hawkeye
else
can show up blind 50 years from now and still be Hawkeye.
Yeah,
like that stuff, it's there. It's in the comic books. It happened.
Yeah.
And like even Marvel in the comic books, they brought Steve Rogers back, even though like 5 people have been Captain America since. Now he's like 9 years old. He's walking around with the cane, but he's still there. So these characters, they can come back just because they don't re-sign their contracts now. Doesn't mean they didn't show up 20 years from now and still have a place
different movies, in different
within
MCU.
the MCU.
Yeah.
Or just put them like at one point, like you're gonna expand you're gonna like there's different Earths here, there's different universes.
Yeah.
They can be from different places. At one point, you are gonna have your Secret War is gonna happen at one point.
Yeah, or your Crisis on Infinite Earths, so to speak. So yeah.
Well, Secret War, yeah.
Yeah.
What's one thing for DC is another thing for Marvel. So, and that gives you the ability to put different people with different superpowers in right now. And another thing that unfortunately is forthcoming is the Black Widow movie. It's gonna happen.
No.
It's kind of been green-lighted behind closed doors, but here's my.
I hope that project gets cancelled or they put Hawkeye in it or someone or something.
Here's my thing. I think Marvel is waiting for DC to do Batgirl. And then they want to see how Batgirl does at the movie.
Joss Whedon's still on board to do Batgirl? Like, he's still doing it.
I know.
And writing it. I mean,
know.
it's ridiculous.
Why?
Because he did 2 Avengers movies.
I don't care.
So, like, just from that point of view,
basically, at this point, I think Marvel is waiting.
Yeah, Marvel is waiting for Joss Whedon to
do Batgirl. For Batgirl to come out.
So they
to see how he does at the movie theaters, how he does at the box office, and if he does good. I think at that point they greenlight Black Widow project.
God, I hope not.
And here's the thing.
I don't want to see a Black Widow movie.
I don't want to see her.
I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it, man.
At this point, we don't want standalone movies.
No, dude. I don't want a standalone movie with a person that has no superpowers in it. Okay, in the center of it.
We don't want standalone movies in general, unless it's Iron Man movie. That I can give you. You put Robert Downey in there, because right now. Dude, look at it.
I don't even want an Iron Man movie anymore.
I do. I want as much Tony Stark as I could get.
Listen, if I get an Iron Man movie, I want the real.
Every standalone movie that came out after Iron Man 3 was a team up. And Iron Man 3...
Ant-Man wasn't.
And Doctor Strange wasn't.
And Doctor Strange definitely wasn't.
But for the core characters, Thor, Ragnarok, a team up.
Okay,
Civil War, a team up.
That was Avengers 2.5, man.
Exactly. Iron Man 3 wasn't a team up, and it's still, other than Civil War and any other Avengers movie, it's the highest grossing. It's the only Marvel movie to crash $1 billion at the box office.
What was the name of the? Because for some reason it slipped my mind. The villain, the supposed villain in Iron Man 3, who turned out
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Yeah. Listen, if I get an Iron Man movie, I want the real Mandarin in it. Okay. And I want Ben Kingsley to play him too.
It could happen too, but here's the thing. At the same time, it's like,
because to me, Iron Man as a character makes much more sense to be in other people's movies, like we saw in Spider-Man Homecoming, which was perfect.
At this point, your standalone movies should be your team-up movies. You team them up with other people. So if you're gonna do Black Widow movie, unfortunately you're gonna do it, and unfortunately I'm gonna go see it with both her because it's a Marvel movie. Team her up.
Yeah, I want to see her with Hawkeye or someone at least, because
so I don't what happened with Budapest? You know, we still don't know.
Yeah, and dude, I'll still keep on waiting for that Captain America, Chris Evans, and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman World War II standalone movie to happen.
Technically, once Chris Evans's contract runs out, and because Hugh Jackman is technically not Wolverine anymore, it might happen.
I know,
and
man.
I hope it do. I hope somebody sits down, writes that story. In one of the variations of the story, even Bucky's there, but Bucky's under contract still, so...
It doesn't have to include Bucky, because...
Oh yeah, just give me Chris Evans as Captain America and
Hugh Jackman's Logan, okay?
Put him in the same movie, put him in the Second World War, and it's a win-win, man.
Yeah, definitely.
You really can't go wrong with that one. And everybody, and I mean everybody and their grandma is gonna go and see it.
And it'll be much better than the Black Widow movie. I know why people want Black Widow movie. It's because it's Scarlett Johansson and she's wearing leather. To me, I could care less. I don't care at all.
There's a movie starring Jennifer Lawrence coming out that's basically a carbon copy of Black Widow movie. She plays some like ballet or dancer or a swimmer who's secretly a trained government spy. And I don't know much about the movie. I don't even know what the name of the movie is, but it's basically like reading Black Widow's origin story.
Listen,
which is fun.
I don't mind Scarlett Johansson. I like Ghost.
Oh, me neither.
Listen, I like the Ghost
in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. All right. I like Lucy a little bit more for various reasons. I think we've seen. I like her other movies too. But listen, I mean. To me, Black Widow
if you're gonna do a Black Widow movie, team her up.
To me, Black Widow is just a ninja, okay? She's a spy. She doesn't have any superpowers. She just has training and skills, okay? That's all she has, just like Hawkeye. But at least Hawkeye, he can't miss a target, okay? She can. She can miss a target. She can get captured. Hawkeye can also get captured.
She usually doesn't, but
they're side characters. To me, they're both side characters in the Avengers. To me, they're not members of the Avengers. They're agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., okay?
Well, they are members of the Avengers.
I know. I'm just saying, to me...
But it's like they're... Just because they don't have superpowers, but here's the thing. Because they don't have superpowers, if you're gonna do their movies as standalone movies, you gotta make them interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, you're just making a spy movie.
Yeah, and That's the last.
And we saw those. There's a lot of spy movies out there.
We don't need the Marvel spy movie necessarily. Okay.
So you need a team up. You need something out there that's bigger, more dangerous than what they would.
If you're gonna give me a standalone movie, give me someone with superpowers like Captain Marvel or Black Panther or Spider-Man 2099 or somebody. I don't care who. Okay. Just as long as they have superpowers. Dude, I would rather see a Stealthman movie, but listen, if Black Widow's in there, that's okay too then. Whatever.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. Like, listen, just do team ups. We want team ups. At this point, we're looking at team ups.
There's technology. There's the budget. They have everything. Now.
Yeah, right now those movies are budgeted like.
And those movies are being. I'm sure there are tons of scripts out there for all these movies. Okay, I'm sure they.
Listen, like we said, Marvel. Somebody said a couple of years ago, like Marvel knows what's happening like 20 years from now. They got a plan in there, so they're planning ahead. They have contingencies for their contingencies.
I hope so.
So man. I'm pretty
Kevin
sure
Feige's been doing a great job so far, and I mean he's been doing the Marvel movies since the original Hulk in 2003.
Yeah.
He did the original Ghost Rider, and they made some mistakes. They learned from them, and now we have MCU, and they've been doing pretty good. People might be saying they're using their formula way too much, and that may be true.
But as long as it's, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Listen, their villains might be suffering because of the formula.
Yeah.
And we've seen definitely that's definitely been going on. Their villains are weak, especially weaker than the DCEU villains, and this needs to change.
And the thing is, if you do a Black Widow origin story,
you're not changing much.
You're gonna break it. You don't want to break it.
And those are our thoughts for this.
Kind of went on for a while, which is exactly what it's our ramblings / rant / opinion.
Yeah, this is stuff we wanted to do before, and
we still gotta figure out a format to do this. We're not gonna do this for every movie because we don't want to. We might do this for Justice League.
Justice League is coming out. Justice League, definitely. DC, baby. Yeah, I'm not sure what we're gonna do with Star Wars this year. I mean, or next year, whenever we record the video, whenever those movies,
yeah, we're probably gonna do something unspoilery or whatever, and we're gonna complain why we do love the fact that JJ is doing it, the reasons for the dismissal.
Anyways, let's not go into that right now. We'll leave that for the Star Wars video and the Justice League coming out in a few weeks. Man, I can't wait for that movie either.
Dude, I have been waiting for that movie like since I was 9.
I know, man.
When I finally get to see it, oh, I cannot wait.
I know, man. I know.
I'm a DC guy, through and through, man.
We'll save that discussion for later, even though we already...
DC, baby.
Yeah. Till next time, Bash Bros out.